Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today, we have a WIP and chat. Woo! Ah! For those who do not know what a WIP and chat is, that is when I work on my work in progress. Mine is currently the old shoe house from Diamond Art Club. I think this is my third WIP and chat with this. But you can either watch this or stream this along as you work on whatever project you're working on. Doesn't have to be diamond painting. And I chat. So, few boring housekeeping tips. If you hear a noise directly to my left, I do have a fan running. I am recording this when my tiny human is sleeping, and she is actually asleep, so the length of this video is going to dictate how long she continues to nap for, so fingers crossed. Also, you may or may not hear my husband come in or out. He just assembled a chair, and so he's downstairs, and then he'll hopefully be back up. So I'm going to work on this section here. Somebody recently asked me if I could show how I section off a canvas, and to be completely honest with you, I don't really section canvases. This one here, if you can see, it's like a massive, you probably can't even see. It's a massive area, like far too big to be a workable space. 10 by 12 inches. So, you know, the size of some people's entire canvases. I have 3 of these sections. This one here, as you can see, is done. And then the ones below it are done. This kit is so big that if I peeled up the plastic, I'd have to cut it in order to not take the whole thing off. So, we are going to be cracking into a new section-ish. Let's see. I can't even tell where it's tearing over here. So, how is everybody doing? It is gloomy here today. And as I said, my husband was just assembling a chair for him. His craft area, my craft area, we just sit in outdoor chairs. I'm trying to do this and not break the plastic because that looks like it's going to be what's happening. Oh, look at me. I'd like some of this tape to say. This is probably like the least thrilling thing you guys could watch right now. Oh, there goes the light pad. Alright. Right now, I'm seeing that I'm epically failing, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. And this, my friends, is why I don't section off canvases. So, just get my arm out of the way. I also don't want to work on a section that's quite as large as what I have. Now I can't tell where the line is. So, I have washi tape here. For anyone who's like tuning in and going, wow, this is really boring, I apologize. And we are going to be testing out a new wax today. All sorts of fun stuff. So, I got this from Kathy over at Enchanted Succulent. She sent me a little sample of her organic Canadian wax. So we are going to load that up in my Lazy River pen, working with the unicorn poop. So I am just going to, I don't want to tear the bag, which I feel like is about to happen anyway, so. Ooh, it's a nice thickness. Ooh. Alright. So it feels like it's sticky, but not like overly sticky. Let's see. Alright. So again, sorry for the thrilling display that is TV. My video. You guys, this is a hot mess. I am, per usual, driving this hot mess express. So let's get out our first color. So satisfying. Going to place this down, and I only put that in my single placer. There we go. All right. So, if you guys hear beeping, I do use a timer. Let's see if I can adjust you guys so that, there we go. Anywho, my husband got a chair for his craft area, as I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself. And I want to get one, and he knows I want to get one. But mine has more specific needs than his. Oh, see, now I lowered you guys too much. Ooh. Alright. I might raise you back up a little bit. If anyone gets motion sickness, this is probably the most disjointed whip and chat I've ever done. So, alright. So I need one that has arms that will adjust. And that just means I have to actually get measurements. And this is not a topic to be up for debate, but I don't leave my house because of everything going on with the coronavirus. And if you're seeing this in the future, hopefully that means we've made it. I have a child with some health complications, and I don't want to potentially put her at risk. So I don't go anywhere that's not absolutely necessary. So I haven't been to a store or a restaurant or a pharmacy, done anything like that. We've done one outdoor activity as a family. I'd like to do more before it gets too cold. We picked pumpkins. That was fun. But anyway, so I'd like to actually put my butt in a chair and make sure I like it before I purchase one. That's just me. My husband was able to find one that fit his criteria. I need one that has adjustable arms. That's kind of a non-negotiable for me, which seems like a weird thing, but hey, we each have our own things, right? Okay, so this does have that very satisfying, like the sound. Like if you've ever used Super Sticky from Patty Wax, it makes that same sound. So today is my first day diamond painting in like 4 or 5 days maybe. I just had so much going on and so much other stuff going on. Today is the first time in a week our child has taken a nap. That also dictates a lot of my ability to not just record, but to actually diamond paint. So, because I haven't been able to get anything done during the day, and I've had other projects I'm working on, I've been able to film at night a couple extra videos. So, that's coming. I don't know what will be seen at this point. I've got a couple non-diamond painting videos. I hope that you guys love those as well. So, where's... You ever sit down to diamond paint and you realize you're just totally not prepared? I feel like I have Be Prepared singing in my head right now from Lion King. Be prepared. And then a little cartoon guy shaking his head and being like, nope, you're not. It's true, I'm not. How is everybody doing? What's the weather like where you are? It's been very weird. I live in the States, so if you're watching this and you are international, shout out to you guys. But I know people who live in states that are, you know, that don't get snow, and they've had freezing temperatures already. While I'm in a state that does get snow, and it's been like upper 50s and the 60s the last couple days. So, and I'm not complaining about it, but it would be nice if, when we have warmer weather, if I could actually, you know, take the kid out, but it's gross and rainy. So, we had a rough couple days here in our house. Our girl snapped the head off of her absolute favorite Minnie Mouse toy. I just realized I'm supposed to be testing this wax out, and I'm just using my multiplacer, so... Still going to use the multiplacer, but try to do as much as I can with the single. I do like that sound. So once I got the first couple drills down, there's no more residue. And that was just my fault because I didn't wipe it off as well as I wanted to. But anyway, so we had a rough couple days. She broke the head off of her Minnie. My husband tried desperately to fix it for her because he sees himself as her knight in shining armor. I mean, he is. I shouldn't say like he sees himself. He really is. He's her everything. And it broke his heart as a parent to know that his child was sad. And he tried to fix it. He pulled out the Dremel, he pulled out the heat gun, he pulled out anything he could from his side of the craft room. Nothing made it work. And I also said to him, I wholeheartedly believe that if we gave it to her and she broke it again, she'd be beyond distraught. Oh man, I have to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Hopefully that wasn't too loud in your ears. And it just didn't work. We couldn't make it work. And our kid is the kind of kid who obsesses over things that she doesn't need to obsess over. To the point that all she would talk about was how she broke Minnie. And then it would make her really sad. And it was heartbreaking to see it, because you knew she was really sad about it. And she really didn't mean, like, she did it in anger and frustration, but she didn't mean to break the toy. And she had seen me crying like a week or two ago. We had waited for something, and it showed up, and it warmed my heart, and I started crying, and she was very confused, and I said, no, mommy's happy. These are happy tears. Now, mind you, my kiddo is 2. She's almost 3. So the concept of happy tears is foreign. They don't know what that means. They don't know how you can cry when you're happy. But it was so confusing to her that when she broke the toy, she just kept saying to me with tears streaming down her face, Mommy, I happy. Mommy, I happy. I so happy. And I said, no, baby girl, you're not happy. And she just looked at me, no, I happy, Mommy, I happy. And she's very clearly not. And she was so distraught over it. And I said, it's okay for you to be sad, sweetheart. It's okay. And she just looked at me and kept shaking her head, saying, no, Mommy, I happy. And, like, meanwhile, like, tears are just pouring down her face. And it broke my heart. It broke my husband's heart. And he looked on eBay. We couldn't find this damn toy anywhere. And before anyone asks, it's nothing special. It's just a Minnie Mouse figurine, but it bends at the waist so it can sit down and go down the slide in her Mimo house. Which, for those who don't speak my daughter's language, Mimo is Minnie Mouse. So my husband had to go to Walmart to get paint or Sculpey or something. Maybe it wasn't even art related. I thought it was. Might be. That's how scatterbrained I am, you guys. But he had to get something, and he went over to the toy section, and he picked her up a Mickey Mouse farmhouse. So it's like her Mimo house, but it is Mickey and Donald, and they are both wearing farmers' outfits. And then it has a pig, a cow, a chicken, some eggs, some hay bales, and a tractor. Now, her grandfather lives on a farm. Her grandfather raises beef cattle. And no, he doesn't slaughter. In case that was going to be someone's next question. He raises them for breeding. And then other people buy them and do what they need with them. So she got very excited because it was like Grandpa's farm. So we got her that. And I think because she had a really good afternoon yesterday with the new toy, and then had a really eventful morning with it. Lots of playing, lots of pretend. I think she was content enough to actually go to sleep. So every time we have talked to someone on the phone in the past 48 hours, she has to tell them that she broke her Mimo. So that's been fun. I feel like I'm going to have to adjust this camera again. You guys, I'm a mess today. It's like the Mondayest Wednesday ever. I'm not sure when you guys are going to see this, but I'm recording this on a Wednesday. If you guys are not content creators, let me tell you, the process of YouTube, it seems so simple. Point, click, record, upload. You're done. Oh my goodness. A long video. My last whip and chat was almost an hour. It took 2.5 hours to save it off my phone, upload it to YouTube, and then process it. And I had asked on Instagram if other content creators, if it took that long. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do so. My handle, all my info is all down below. I also have a Facebook group. Come join me. So I asked other people, does it take this long for you? And my mom is what you would call technologically challenged. So far, I am really liking this wax. I should take it out and put it in one of my pots. Oh man, I'm so sorry. After that sneeze, now my nose is running. Like, I have this little Diamond Dots pot that has like gray tack. I couldn't think what that was. And then just some pink wax in there. But maybe this would be nice to put my Enchanted Succulent wax in. And I'll make sure to leave the info for her shop on Etsy down below. If I ever say in a video I'm going to leave something down below and I forget to link it or the link doesn't work, please let me know. I always take the time to make sure that I put everything in the notes that I can. I have accidentally put broken links in before. You guys, we're all human. Some of us are more willing to admit that than others. But, yeah, I try. And, if I miss something, feel free to let me know. My only request about that is to just let me know in a kind and courteous manner. Oops. We are all human. And I've said this before. You know, none of us are perfect. None of us are almost perfect. But we need to treat each other with respect. Oh, that's so satisfying. I feel like this whip, I feel like I say this every whip and chat, but I feel like my whip and chat is just all over the place. I came on today, like, totally on a wing and a prayer. I have totally no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'm just here, sitting here rambling. Like, I haven't gone live on Instagram in nearly a week. It's... Guys, it's like, I miss it. I love connecting with people. And if you guys have ever been in one of my lives, thank you. Thank you so much. I've been thinking about maybe doing one on YouTube. I have no idea when. I have no idea what time frame. I have no idea if anybody would even come in. So if that's something you would be interested in, please let me know down below. I will say I am limited with the hours that I can do things like that, because I always do them when my child is sleeping or sleeping. So she usually goes down for her nap at 1:30. I am Eastern Standard Time, and then anytime after 8 p.m. So I know what works for me isn't going to work for everybody else, but you know, sometimes you're limited. The election is next week, and this is not a political conversation, nor do I intend on allowing it to become, but my husband and I, because of our kiddos' airway disorder, are going to vote separately. And we have to juggle it so that we're not going during peak hours, because who wants to be stuck with an angry toddler for hours, right? Just kidding, you guys. I love her. But really, I think I'm going to go in the morning, but not during the before work crowd. And then he's going to go during her nap, but like later part of her nap, so that he's not going over people's lunch break. So, it's interesting, though. Where I vote is in a senior community center, which I'm kind of surprised that they didn't try to move it somewhere so that, you know, they weren't potentially putting a whole lot of seniors at risk. I'm totally out of frame, aren't I? I apologize. You guys, this is... How long into this are we? We're like 20 minutes into this video, and it's just Hot Mess Express. So, I don't know if I told you guys I got a new fan. If you've been here for a little bit, I've been complaining because my fan died. And I got a new one on Amazon. And, the other one was actually toted, I think, as a stroller fan. Which is fine, because it makes sense. You use it plugged in when you're home, and then when you're out and about, it's already charged. But it was not working. It just stopped working completely. Didn't matter if it was plugged in, and I had no other way to charge the battery, so I took the battery out, and it still wasn't working. So, it does me no good if I can't use it when it's plugged in. But this one is nice. It has a longer neck. So if I have to plug it on this side of my desk because I need to shift my canvas that way, I can actually still feel the cool air, which, isn't that what the point of it is? And for anyone curious, I feel like I've said this a million times, but I work on the 3rd floor of our house. So no matter what the temperatures are, it's either super, super hot up here, or I guess this will be my first winter doing my crafting stuff up here. So it'll probably be cold. Probably not. It'll probably still be hot. But it's nice. I don't know if you guys saw my studio tour. But if you did, an actual room tour will be coming. We just need to organize some more stuff in here before it's camera ready. Just like me. Oh. Don't mind the naked nails. So I bought all these Color Street strips forever ago, and I have no idea what happened to the package. I'm like super bummed because I had a couple retired Halloween sets, and I don't need it to be Halloween to wear Halloween. But it does make me sad. It makes me so sad. Are you guys more, for those who wear nail polish, let's say that, are you more solids or patterns? My go-to for my nails is, I love dark. Problem with dark is it chips, oops, sorry, really, very easily. And I love black. Black, I feel like, lasts like a couple days. There's a shade, oh, I don't remember, it might be OPI. Lincoln Park After Dark. That's probably my favorite dark nail polish. It's one of those really dark purples, but like very dark purple. So I'm excited for this section. As you can see, it's a little bit more like color blocking confetti than just like confetti everywhere. Yeah, so I'm excited. This canvas is so big. I'm just sitting here looking at it going, but what are you guys all working on? Are you diamond painting, or are you working on another project? I think actually I want to... Sorry. No, I might as well just keep the plastic up and... Again, and I'm totally off frame. If you think this video is Hot Mess Express, make sure to give it 2 thumbs up. You guys, I'm losing my mind. I'm slowly losing my mind. I guess not so slowly. This is why I never section off my canvas. And now these areas are far too large for me to work manageably. Manage it? I don't know. Part of me wonders if I should even publish this WIP and chat. Like, that's how much I'm like, are we? I'm just losing my mind. Slowly but surely. I'm ready for 2020 to be over. So, I think this is something very regional, so let me know. But where you guys live, do you guys trick or treat and celebrate Halloween on Halloween? Because where I live, they don't. They can, but it depends on what day of the week it is. So this year, because Halloween falls on a weekend, they're making trick or treat Thursday. And then if it rains, Monday. Now, when I was a kid, it didn't matter what the weather was. If it rained, you went trick or treating in the rain. If it snowed, you went trick or treating in the snow. If it was cold, you put on a jacket. It didn't matter. Work on this one? Sure. I don't know how you guys feel, but this symbol, the corners, they drive me crazy. Because in this kit alone, I have 3 of these. I've got one that's this corner, one that faces this way, and then one that's on the bottom. Anyway, so it was only as I got older and I started going with my friends' kids to trick-or-treat, which is a very real thing that I did for many, many years. No shame. No shame. But, I remember the first time my friend Delilah was like, trick-or-treat's on this day. And I was like, what? Why don't you trick-or-treat on Halloween? She's like, I don't know. This is just how it is. So, I drove to her house, and I went trick-or-treating with the kids. And then I realized, oh, this is like more than just where you live. I don't know when things changed, because I live in the same state I've always lived in. I just live in a different area. But apparently, we don't trick-or-treat on Halloween here. And last year, they changed the day of trick-or-treat because of the weather. And it was super, super windy, but it wasn't cold or... It was just really windy. So, because they had postponed trick-or-treat, my husband and I took our daughter, who was almost 2 at that point. Her birthday is next month. So, we took her to a senior living facility. And it was super, super fun because they set up in the lobby. And a lot of these are people who don't get tons of visitors. So for them to have all these little kids in their lobby, dressed up, interacting, having fun, it was quite a joy for them. And we went as the Ghostbusters last year. My husband and I went as 2 of the Ghostbusters, and she went as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And she was so cute, and she was running around and having fun. And there was a guy who was handing out, you know, like the pre-wrapped Rice Krispie treats. Not like the ones you make, but the ones that you buy from whoever makes Rice Krispie treats. Kellogg's, I guess. And he must have given her a dozen. Maybe more. And at one point I was like, sir, can you stop giving my child Rice Krispie treats? And he's like, oh, yeah. Every time we would walk around a corner, he'd be like, hey, come here. I have a treat for you. And we're like, okay. And we're talking about just the lobby of a building. We weren't going from floor to floor, from door to door, nothing like that. But my kid loved it. She enjoyed seeing all the people. She enjoyed people paying a lot of attention to her. She's just a ham, and she loved it. So, cue the next day, which was actually trick-or-treat where we live, because they rescheduled it. It was freezing cold, and she had a bit of a cold, and, you know, wasn't feeling great. So we're like, all right, so this year we're not taking her trick-or-treating because personal reasons, but, you know, if you take your kid trick-or-treating, that's your decision as a parent or guardian, and it's my decision or our family's decision to not do trick-or-treating with her. She's young enough that she's not aware that she's missing out on anything this year. So we'll still dress her up on Halloween. I had a Minnie Mouse dress made for her, I want to say last year. And she's worn it a few times. It's just a red and white twirl dress. And then she's got some mini ears. And we'll do that. And I'll let her dress up and she'll love it. She won't know the difference. But it's just weird to me that they have days for Halloween here that aren't usually Halloween. And I think they do it because they want it to be safe for the children. And I'm like, do they just assume everyone is just out getting tanked on Halloween? And if Halloween's on a weekend, we need to protect our children better? I don't know. I'm sure that has something to do with the logistics behind it, but I really don't know for sure. You know, once you become a parent, things are very different. Well, at least for us, things were different. We had our kiddo later in life. So our friends who do have Halloween get-togethers, they're always like, everybody can bring the kiddos, but they're talking about kiddos that are, you know, self-sufficient, that can, at the very least, go to the bathroom by themselves and feed themselves. My kid can feed herself. I can't trust her to go and get her own food, you know, get a plate of food like you could with a kid in middle school. So, Halloween is my favorite holiday too, and so it actually just eats me up inside that we're not going to be taking her out of the house and doing anything super special for it. And then that means that birthdays are around the corner. Nothing special is happening for them. My birthday is next. In our household, my birthday is next. My sister's birthday is the day before mine, so technically hers is before mine. Not technically it is, but... So my birthday's coming up, and then her birthday's coming up a few days after mine, and then my husband's is like 2 weeks after hers. So then we get into the holiday season, and it just... it's sad. I just wish that the world would get back to normal, and that I could let my child safely and freely live like a child. And it's really hard sometimes. That's probably the biggest thing for me with the quarantine. Sorry. Is I want her to lead as normal of a life as possible, but I can't comfortably and safely let her do so. And it's hard. It eats away at you as a parent. And you question, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing for her? Are we doing the right things for ourselves? And I know the answer is yes, I'm doing the right thing for her. I'm doing right by her. But it doesn't make it any easier. So, are you guys going trick-or-treating? Or will you be handing out candy? What is your favorite Halloween candy? Or any candy, I guess, for that matter. I'm a Reese's girl. If you have a peanut allergy, my heart aches for you, because peanut butter cups are my jam. And I actually live really close to Hershey, which is where all the chocolate is made. And for anyone who's curious, yes, it's a real place. It is the sweetest place on earth. I did not coin that. Before anyone's like, wow, that's smart. Yes, Milton Hershey also agreed with that. Actually, Milton Hershey probably wouldn't have agreed with that. But if you guys are really into books, there's a really fascinating book. I can't remember the name of it. But it is the story between Mars and Hershey. And, you know, the war that went on between them and the fight for dominance in the chocolate world. And Milton Hershey, here's a history lesson that nobody asked for, but I'm going to give it anyway. Milton Hershey was a man that had no children. He was incredibly charitable. Hershey Park, which is an amusement park in Hershey, Pennsylvania, was originally created as a gift for his employees, so they could take their family there. He never wanted it to be, you know, this giant amusement park the way like Disneyland or Disney World is. And it's around here, it's a pretty big deal. Obviously, it doesn't compare to Disney. Nothing is going to compare to Disney and Universal and all that. But he never wanted it to be this big for-profit machine. He wanted it to be somewhere that was able to allow the families of the Hershey Corporation to go and have a day with their family, to spend that family quality time. And I'm giving you the super Cliff's Notes version here, but basically after he died, they somehow figured out how to break a dead man's will and do all these things against his dying wishes. So it's quite interesting. I mean, it seems, I live here, and I still think it's weird that there's like an amusement park down the street from where I live. For those curious, it's not like down the street. I would say I'm about 7 minutes from the park. So, close enough to being down the street. And no, it is not open year-round the same way Disney is. But they do have Halloween, I forget what it's called, where you can trick-or-treat in the park. And basically, you go in, you have a ticket, and you're in costume. And they have stations where you can trick-or-treat. Like, you're not trick-or-treating. And then they have Sweet Lights, which they have a drive-in light display, and they do have the amusement park open for a short time. Like I said earlier, it gets cold here. It can get cold here. Sorry, So, you know, you may not want to be at an amusement park when it's 26 degrees out. You might want to. Oh, there's the husband. Say hi, husband.
Hello.
So.
Guess I'll sit in this big comfy chair.
Guess you'll just have to. If you guys could see him right now, he just walked in like a little muscle tank, which is actually a swim shirt we bought for our trip to Hershey. Not Hershey. Our trip to Disney that has been canceled, and now we're just throwing the towel in until the world gets better. So if you hear a bunch of noise going on, that's what's happening here.
I won't be able to watch it.
Well, if you are, I'm not giving you carte blanche to just act like a total a-hole, but you know, I'm letting the people know.
Nobody wants a cart full of Blanches, alright? She was my least favorite Golden Girl.
What? No. Really?
Yeah, who else would be?
Dorothy?
Comment below. Who's your least favorite Golden Girl?
Or who's your favorite Golden Girl? Let's do that, too.
Everybody's favorite's Rose. It just is.
No.
Yes. It's the way it works, Lindsay. I don't make the rules.
I think that...
And Dorothy was the leader. They can't be anybody's least favorite.
Yes, they can. Just like Raphael. He's the worst turtle.
He's not the leader. Leonardo is.
Leonardo sucks, too.
Oh,
Alright, so now this conversation has gone from Milton S. Hershey to the Golden Girls to Ninja Turtles. Also, comment below, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? The correct answer is Michelangelo. And we will actually debate with you guys on that. Don't mind him, he just, like, broke his toe off.
Nah, that's cool. I got 9 more. I'm good, fam.
I don't know if you smell like... I think you smell like my shampoo, not my shampoo, our shampoo.
Yes, I did shampoo my hair.
So for those who've never seen a picture of my husband, maybe for shits and giggles I'll insert one. No, I probably won't. He's got really long hair, currently.
Hashtag fat Jason Momoa.
No, we're not hashtagging that in this video. But, he doesn't wash his hair every time he takes a shower. Just, like, not everybody washes their hair every time they take a shower. But he, like, particularly does not like when he has, like, super clean hair. Because it's, like, so fluffy. And, like, you have the kind of hair that, like, people would kill for. Alright.
Somebody's gonna kill me?
No, nobody's gonna kill you. I hope nobody's gonna kill you.
I mean,
Well, we should probably not be talking about this on YouTube. Somebody's probably gonna be like, what is happening? Call the authorities.
probably know it's like mysteries.
Which apparently that came back.
Yeah.
And we're behind, as
As
usual.
long as it's not an episode where it's like it's
Subtitles?
You have to watch all
Yeah.
of it. That was the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with bilingual TV, but
Not while I'm trying to
not
do
when I'm
this.
trying to do something
Yeah.
else.
No, let me tell you. So, do you guys watch programming, TVs, movies, whatever, when you're working? Because for me, I like to watch Mindless TV. Which, if this is not the most all over the place whip and chat ever.
You're welcome.
No, it was like this before you walked
Yeah.
in. Let's. Alright. That drill didn't want to come off. Sorry, there's like a lot of concentration there. I like to watch Mindless TV, so right now I'm currently watching 90 Day Fiancé. And I have been watching The Other Way right now. I think that's the one that's airing new episodes. But every once in a while, they'll have like an episode where it's like 15 minutes with subtitles. And I'm like, I gotta either just not have a clue what's going on or pause my diamond painting just so I can see what's going on in the trash TV.
I mean, I'm gonna guess their storylines can probably pick up a little later.
I mean,
Probably not real deep. Is that the one where the guy runs into the woods and gets mugged? In Brazil or whatever?
yes. He's not on right now.
It's because he's getting mugged.
No, they actually moved back to the States. And then his wife was miserable. And he kept telling her, but you live in a hut in Brazil. As if that's supposed to make their shitty living conditions in the States better. And apparently they're back in Brazil. If anyone has no idea what I'm talking about, I do apologize. If you guys are big, true 90 Day Fiancé fans, you know I'm talking about Paul and Karini. Paul.
Did you say Paul?
Paul. Yeah, his name is Paul.
You know what I thought about the other day? I'm gonna tell you. Whatever happened to Paul Wall?
The hell is Paul Wall? The rapper?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I just saw a picture of him and I'm like, whatever happened to that guy? I didn't Google it because I didn't care. But I was curious.
In case anybody wants to know what, like, a real day in the life of our house is like, this is it.
Oh, that's 100% true.
I mean, minus the whole filming it all, but yeah.
We're still holding out for AMC to make us an offer on our...
Nope, that's not correct.
I mean, it's out there.
Which I had asked on Instagram, what kind of content do you guys want to see more of, or what would you like to see that I don't do?
100% of it was feature your husband.
No, but that's coming. Maybe we'll film that tomorrow. I don't know. I have no idea what's on my husband's docket for, in terms of pops. If you guys haven't checked him out, make sure you do so. His info is always listed in the descriptions of my videos. I shouldn't say always, because I don't know if it is in the first couple videos, but it's at least in this one. And anyway, that's not the point. The point is, my husband makes customized Funko Pops. Check him out. He's at Dada Monster, DADDA Monster on Instagram. And he has a bunch of open orders right now, but I never know the places that he's getting his supplies from, if they've actually, like, taken their sweet-ass time, or if they've sent them. So sometimes he just has a lot to work on all at once, and then other times he has, like, little things he can do, but he has to wait for the head or the body or whatever.
I'm actually pretty good right now.
So if I wanted to film tomorrow, we could.
Yeah. I'm pretty much, I mean, it's not even November yet, and I'm already starting on November Pop, so.
That's good. Which, if you guys are watching this in, like, present-ish time, if you were thinking about ordering a pop for the holidays, don't wait. Because what's going to happen is everyone's going to come to him on December and be like, hey, man, can I get a pop? And he's going to be like, no, man. He can make you pop, but he can't guarantee it by Christmas.
In fact, all my November ones I'm trying to get out December 1st, like first week of December.
Yeah. So he'll still take the orders for December as long as you are aware that this is not going to be a guarantee to arrive before Christmas. Those orders, he actually has a date set for that. No orders after a certain date for Christmas. November 6th. So get those in now if that's of interest.
If I catch up, I won't be able to,
yeah, obviously if he can get more slots in, he'll open them up. But he's also reliant on the U.S. Postal Service the way his customers are. So if anyone was curious how it works, he orders certain pops depending on his needs for the custom, and he usually Frankensteins them. So he'll take the head of one, the body of another, he might take arms off of one, he might just take them apart, and he uses that as his base for whatever he's building upon. So if he needs, I'm just going to make up a pop, a Jerry pop. Jerry who? I don't know, but we're just going to use that as an example. He has to wait for it to come in before he can start building on it, or sanding it, or doing things to the actual part that he needs. So some part of what he does is, unfortunately for him, is just a waiting game. But
that includes waiting for paint to dry, literally.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
We were doing that last night.
That's correct, sir. You are. And I'm not sure how well you guys can hear him, so I probably shouldn't have like a whole conversation with you on camera like this, just in case the audio makes it sound like I'm talking to myself. I know, craziness. Crazy pants. If anyone is curious, this is just a parchment square, non-stick. If you ever see me doing that, I usually will place it down wherever I want to put my hand, or wherever I want to put my tray, so that my tray won't stick to the ground, to the canvas. Sometimes I'll have multiple ones down, and they are reusable. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to do this, make sure that you are buying non-stick parchment. Wax paper will stick to your canvas, and if it's something you've never tested out before, just test it on a corner before you go balls deep and plaster your whole canvas with it. For my peace of mind, for your peace of mind. Yeah. What?
I don't care. Go balls deep.
No.
Just do it.
Nope, because then they're going to come to you and say, Data Monster, how do I fix my canvas? And you're going to go, I don't know.
Duct tape. Fix it.
Nope, duct tape does not, don't listen to him. Do not listen to him. If you have an area that's low on stickiness, don't put duct tape on it. That's not going to solve your problem. Might cover your problem.
Well, Windex or duct tape fix that?
Nope. Again, no. Actually, the easiest way to get something that's stuck to your canvas off your canvas, not that anybody asked, but just to cover my butt here since you're shouting out incorrect information, is you want to get it wet.
Oh.
So you can, I probably shouldn't be giving away all my secrets before I film my video with my husband.
Windex.
No, not Windex. You can use like a gentle baby wipe, or you can use like a cloth towel. You don't really want to use a paper towel because you don't want the paper fibers to stick to your canvas. And you don't need it to be soaking wet, but just get it wet, and then you can use your tweezers to peel off whatever you need to, or if you can scrape it off, that's fine. Don't scrape off the adhesive. And then just let it air dry until it gets tacky again. But baby wipes or like those like cloth towels that have the similar feel, those are good for little mishaps. Now I gotta really put the pedal to the metal, as Mickey would say. Make sure I have everything I need for this video tomorrow, babe.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It was highly requested for a while, and then it just never happened, so I think people were like, well, we're going to stop asking about it. So you asked for it. 2 months later, it
It's
happened.
like the second Borat movie. Everybody forgot about it. And that's when it comes out.
I mean, what the hell else was Sacha Baron Cohen doing over quarantine? He's probably like the rest of us.
That's true.
Which, if you guys saw the new Borat movie, let me know down below. We just watched it the other night. I liked it. I like. What happened to the murder hornets?
Oh, they just found a big nest of them in Washington.
State or DC?
State. Oh. It's too cold here. I mean, I can't imagine it's much warmer there. So.
I was going to say, it's actually warmer here than it is in the Pacific Northwest right now.
Well, either way, they just found a big batch of them in that.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure it was Washington State. They dispatched of it. But then people were saying they weren't murder hornets, so I don't know.
This has been an I don't know news update with Data Monster.
Well, I wasn't there when they were dispatching it then, so I'm not an official.
Oh my gosh, you guys, he's just going on and on.
Murder hornets.
If you're an official expert on murder hornets, let us know down below.
This is your time to shine.
Oh god, I keep hitting the microphone stand. I'm sorry, you guys. I am all over the place. And if you guys are wondering if this is like put on or if this is real, this is very real. I don't think people pretend to be like this, do they?
Tell us down below. You're welcome.
My husband was making comments today as if he has his own YouTube channel. He was talking about, I was like, I haven't done any diamond painting related videos in like a week. And he's like, well, neither have I. And I was like, that doesn't affect me. I don't even remember what he was saying. And I was like, okay, well, I was talking about for my channel. He's like, yeah, you're not talking about my channel. You don't have a channel. Could you imagine two of us having a channel in one house? The murder hornets would not allow it.
They can't tell us what to do.
I don't want your life.
They try to take our nerves, but they can't.
If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. Is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I don't want to sing too much to get a copyright. Doodle-doo-doo-doodle-doo.
Done.
I know.
Washed up. Copyright straight coming.
Yes. Oh, man. The only downside to color blocking in an area where things are mainly the same color is you're pretty much dealing with just that color scheme. But as you can see, my plastic is pulled up further than this, but I'm just going to go to about here and then cut it off, because in order for me to do further, let me just tilt you up a little bit. Like, I have to shift the whole canvas. You can see the end of my light pad is here. So all of this, I have to move the canvas down and push the light pad up. Let me answer questions that nobody has. You guys can't even. I think my mind is slowly unraveling. Like I said, it's been a hard couple days in the house, so sanity is slowly just hanging on by that last thread. And that's another reason why I use Parchment, because I like to stick it on my canvas by accident. Are you talking to me or yourself? Oh, there we go, you guys. If you didn't hear the call of the wild, that was our toddler. She just woke up. She'll probably be pretty content for a little bit in her room. But this is why give those warnings in the beginning of my video because you never know what you're going to get. And well, obviously I can't look at the camera because I'm on the phone. I'm recording on my phone, which is what I do. But, I just totally lost my train of thought. She may still be in bed. I'm not even sure. And we don't ever get her, like, right away. We let her sit in her room and play.
Think about what she's done.
No, and babble and,
No,
you know.
She's usually a pretty content baby. She usually likes to look outside.
Yeah, she'll sit and look out the window and stuff like that.
She likes to collect her thoughts.
Yes. And, there's probably been, like, 2, maybe 3 instances in her life where she woke up and we, like, immediately went in. And it was because she woke up screaming. She had night terrors for, like, a whole week. That was fun. Thank God it was just a week. I mean, so those were, like, when you hear a kid, like, screaming, you go running in. Or you don't. I'm not in charge of your life. You do you, boo. What, babe?
Or you put on a clown mask.
Maybe she likes that. Look, it's not up to you to decide what other people like for their kids. She's not singing yet, so. He's reading instructions out loud, you guys. Should we guess what it's for? Alright. Is it too late now to say sorry? God, now I'm going to have that in my head. No, I'm going to get these last couple drills in and wrap this up. What are you even working on? Oh. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright, let's get these last ones in. And I'm gonna end this now before she gets too loud. Feels like she's mocking me right now. So if you guys hung in here this whole time, I thank you a lot. This has been a roller coaster of a whip and chat, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure you give this video 2 thumbs up before you leave. 1 real life, 1 virtual. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you are part of the crew here. Come join the Sparkle Squad. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a video. I do not upload on a schedule. I operate on toddler standard time. I operate around her schedule. I give what I can give, and you get what you can get. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!